What about Mr. Downtown Raymel, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, August 26, 2021, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Raymel, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for the Entertainment Report, and they'll take you to the page. Warner Brothers, Studio Canal, and American Zoo Troupe have announced plans to release a 4K restoration of the star-studded 1983 drama The Outsiders. Based on S.E. Hilton's 1967 young adult novel and directed by Francis Ford Coppola, the film helped launch the careers of C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio, Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Diane Lane, and Emilio Estevez. The new version, billed as The Outsiders, the complete novel, will include new music and several scenes cut from the theatrical version that has since been reconstructed for original camera negatives. Coppola said in a statement Tuesday, The Outsiders, the complete novel, came about after meeting students over the years who repeatedly asked why certain scenes from S.E. Hilton's wonderful book were missing from the theatrical version. He said, these questions reminded me about my inspiration for the film. In 1980, a contingent of 12 to 14-year-old students wrote and asked me to make it. I listened to those young fans back then, and I continue to listen to young people now and believe in their opinions. So this complete film version of the film is for them. The new version of the movie about rival teen factions in 1960s Oklahoma will be released in North American theaters on September 26. Warner Brothers said it will also make both it and the original version available in 4K UHD's Collector's Edition and on digital platforms November 9th. The Outsiders, a complete novel, will be available on HBO Max as of November 16th and will air this fall on Turner Classic Movies. Tulsa's Outsiders Museum, which is actually the house where much of the movie was filmed, is planning a screening of the new version on September 25th. The museum continues to attract fans of both the book and the movie. Brendan Fraser, Michael Abbott Jr., Jesse Plemons, Pat Healy, and Josh Fedem stopped by last weekend because they were in the area filming their own picture, Killer of the Flower Moon. AMC Networks announced Wednesday that Game of Thrones alum Jacob Anderson has been cast as the vampire Lewis in the upcoming series based on Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. Anderson will play a titular vampire recounting his life story as a reporter. Interview with the Vampire was a debut novel by Anne Rice, who ultimately wrote 18 interconnected novels about vampires and riches that AMC Network purchased the rights to in June. The book was adapted as a movie in 1994, starring Brad Pitt as Lewis, Tom Cruise as Lestat, and Kristen Dunst as Claudia. AMC hasn't announced any other casting choices for the series, which is expected to be released in 2022. Rice and her son Christopher Rice will serve as executive producers for the series, but won't write for it. Mark Johnson is developing the Anne Rice book for AMC Networks and AMC Plus streaming service. Roland Jones will serve as a creator and showrunner for the Interview adaptation. Other books included in the AMC deal are The Vampire Lestat, The Queen of the Dam, The Tale of the Body Thief, Minoc the Devil, The Vampire Armand, Pandora, Victoria the Vampire, Blood and Gold, Prince Lestat and the Realm of the Atlantis Island, Blood Communion, A Tale of Prince Lestat, The Witching Hour, Lasher, Taltos, Merrick, Blackwood Farm, and Blood Kentanel. Steven Soderbergh is set to direct, and Ed Solomon will write Full Circle limited series for HBO Max. Along with Casey Silver, they will also serve as executive producers. The project about a botched kidnapping in New York City will reunite the trio who previously collaborated on the streaming service's film No Sudden Move. Soderbergh said in a statement about Full Circle Wednesday, even by Ed's standards, this is a complex narrative that manages to be both kaleidoscopic and intimate. Our task now is to assemble a great cast and make sure we execute at the level the scripts deserve. Atlanta and the Harley Fall actor LaKeith Stanfield has signed on to star and executive produce the new Apple TV Plus horror drama The Changeling. The streaming service is based on Victor LaValle's novel of the same name. Kelly Marcel, whose credits include Cruella, Venom, and Venom Let There Be Carnage, will serve as the showrunner and executive producer. Malia Matuska, who has worked on Queen and Slim and Insecure, plans to direct and executive produce the show. Apple TV Plus describes the show as a parenthood fable and a perilous odyssey through a New York City you didn't know existed. LaValle Marcel celebrated the news on Twitter. LaValle said, let me clear my throat. The Challenging is coming to at Apple TV, starring LaKeith Stanfield, directed by Melina Matukas, created and written by at Miss Marcel, and with me joyfully collaborating closely throughout. I could not be more happier. This is going to be special. Marcel wrote in her own post, working with Victor on the stunning book has been a dream, and having the incredible Melina Matukas and LaKeith join us is beyond my wildest. Cannot wait to bring this to you on Apple TV and at Annapurna Plix. Netflix has announced it's planning an online global fan event called Tadum on September 25th. The title refers to the first beat you hear when you watch a show or movie on Netflix. The streaming service said in a press release on Wednesday. Netflix says our biggest stars and creators from around the world represent over 70 series, films, and specials will join the virtual stage for this exciting day full of exclusives and first looks. It is our first ever global Tadum event, and our goal is simple: to entertain and honor Netflix fans from across the globe. This live stream event is slated to begin at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time across Netflix's YouTube channels worldwide, in addition to Twitter and Twitch. Among the series to be showcased are Stranger Things, Bridgerton, The Witcher, Cobra Kai, Big Mouth, Cowboy Bebop, The Crown, Emily in Paris, Ozark, The Sandman, The Umbrella Academy, Vikings Valhalla, and The Witcher Blood Origin. Netflix has confirmed it is working on an animated series based on the popular card game Magic the Gathering. Superman Return and Arrow actor Brandon Routh will lead the voice cast for the show, which is expected to premiere in 2022. He will play Gideon Jura, whom the streaming service describes as an unfaltering, heroic planeswalker. The casting announcement was made Tuesday at the Wizards of the Coast Magic Showcase in 2021's event streaming. Few plot details have been disclosed, other than the show will expand the game's world of planeswalker heroes and villains. Yango Wexler is also writing a prequel novel that will be released by Del Rey Books in conjunction with the streaming service. Joel and Anthony Russo of Avengers fame was initially attached to the project as executive producers, but recently bowed out. Executive producer Jeff Klein, whose credits include Transformers Prime, and co-executive producer and story editor Steve Melching, who worked on Star Wars The Clone Wars, now has creative control over Magic the Gathering. Showtime has announced it has renewed its legal drama Your Honor for a second season. The 10-episode first season premiered in December 2020. It stars Bryan Cranston as a respected New Orleans judge whose teenage son is involved in a hit-and-run incident that leads to a high-stake games of lies, deceit, and impossible choices, according to the cable network. The show's ensemble includes Hunter Doohan, Michael Stuhlbarg, Hope Davis, Carmen Eojo, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. Peter Moffat, whose credits include The Night of and Uncover, is the series showrunner and executive producer. Gary Levine, the president of entertainment at Showtime, said at the Television's Critic Association event on Tuesday, "We were blown away by Your Honor, by the powerful storytelling of Peter, by the depth of Bryan's performance, and by the overwhelming reaction from our subscribers who watch in record numbers. Imagine our delight when we learned that Peter believed he had more story to tell, and Bryan felt that he had more depth to plumb. So along with its millions of fans, I'm gleefully shouting encore." Former Saturday Night Live castmates Maya Rudolph and Andy Samberg have signed on to host the 6-episode competition show, Baking It. The Peacock series will see 8 teams of 2 home bakers complete home-themed challenges in a winter cabin. Judges judging the competition will be 4 real-life grandmothers who are also excellent bakers. The streaming service said in a press release on Tuesday, contestant duos will include spouses, siblings, best friends, and more, who will work together to create outstanding savory and sweet creations for theme challenges with the hopes of winning a cash prize. Maya and Andy will lead the festivities, also providing comedic commentary on the action. The show is from executive producers Amy Poehler and Nicole Yaron, who last collaborated on the crafting competition Making It. 1984 film classic The Karate King is set to begin performances next year in St. Louis, the project's producers announced Wednesday. The limited pre-Broadway engagement is to kick off May 25th at the Ross Family Theater at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. The show is slated to run through June 26th. It features a book by Robert Mark Kamen and music and lyrics by Drew Gasparini. The musical is based on the film and Kamen's own original semi-autobiographical story. Eamon Mikimoto is directing, with the choreography will be by Kyung and Marie Madrid. The movie starred Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, William Zabka, and Elizabeth Shue. It started a 5-film franchise, and Cobra Kai, beloved Netflix sequel series that is going into its 4th season with most of the original cast. Kamen said in a statement, "When I was a young man, my life was forever changed by traditional Okinawa karate and the instructors who taught it to me. The Karate Kid is my love letter to both the masters and their practice. Karate teaches above all to follow your dreams no matter what obstacles are put in front of you, and that is the spirit with which all of us are approaching this show. I am particularly pleased to have Amiya guiding us forward with such positivity, wisdom, and passion." Macchio retweeted a news report about the project with the caption, "And the beat goes on." The man who was photographed as the naked baby swimming on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind album filed a lawsuit alleging he was the victim of child pornography. In the complaint filed Tuesday, Spencer Eldon, who's 30, states that the image on the 1991 album, which features him as an infant swimming underwater with his penis exposed as he reached for a dollar bill, portrays him like a sex worker and has caused him lifelong damages. The suit seeks $150,000 from each defendant, including photographer Kirk Weedle and surviving Nirvana members Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic, as well as Courtney Love, the executor of the estate of the band's late frontman Kurt Cobain. Allegedly, they knowingly produced, possessed, and advertised commercial child pornography. Original Nirvana drummer Chad Channing is also named as a defendant despite being replaced by Grohl in 1990 before the album was recorded and the cover photography was shot. It further named several existing and defunct record labels that have released or distributed the album in the preceding decades. The suit specifically accuses Weedle of producing sexually graphic images of Eldon with the goal of enhancing and increasing the commercial success of the band and the album. Weedle took a series of sexually graphic nude photos of Spencer, the suit says, to ensure the album cover would trigger a visceral sexual response from the viewer. Weedle activated Spencer's gag reflex before throwing him underwater in posing, highlighting and emphasizing Spencer's exposed genitals. Cobain agreed to release the album with a sticker covering Eldon's genitals, following pushback at the time of the release, but the lawsuit states it was never incorporated into the album cover. The lawsuit continues to allege that the 3 decades in which the image has persisted as one of the most iconic images in rock music has caused Eldon permanent harm, including emotional and physical, and permanent emotional distress, with physical manifestations, interference with his normal development and educational progress, lifelong loss of income earning capacity, loss of past and future wages, past and future expenses for medical and psychological treatments, loss of enjoyment of life, and other losses. Neither Eldon nor his guardians signed a release authorizing the use of the image, the suit says. In 2008, Eldon's father, Rick, told NPR that Whedon called him to offer him $200 to throw your kid in a drink, adding he arrived at a big party at the pool at the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center where, quote, no one had an idea what was going on. Eldon has recreated the pose as a teenager and adult to celebrate the 10th, 17th, 20th, and 25th anniversary of the album's release. He has worn swim trunks in the subsequent photos, but told the New York Post he requested to take the photo nude during the most recent recreation in 2016. But the photographer declined. Eldon's comments regarding the photo throughout the years have been mixed, with him saying in 2007 that it feels kind of creepy that many people have seen me naked, and that he is often asked to attend events as the Nirvana baby. The famed auction house Sotheby's announced Wednesday it will be selling numerous items from the rock band The Grateful Dead this fall. From the vault property of The Grateful Dead and Friends is an online auction of clothes, instruments, equipment, and memorabilia that is scheduled to take place October 7th to the 17th. Richard Austin, Sotheby's global heads of books and manuscripts, said in a statement Wednesday, "The Grateful Dead are renowned around the world as one of the most famous and beloved bands of all time, attracting an incredible, devoted, loyal community of fans formed over decades, transformed the group into a touchstone of pop culture that goes far beyond their music. From Jerry Garcia's stage-used 12-string guided Starfire to the surviving equipment from the groundbreaking Wall of Sound, the band's legendary sound system that defined their live performances, to the fashion war on stage by Garcia, to the chemistry set used to make LSD for the counterculture of the 60s. As the most important sale dedicated to the Grateful Dead ever assembled, we're excited to showcase these objects with veteran Deadheads and the general public alike." The band and Rhino are also partnering with Cola Collection to exclusively stream rarely seen professionally filmed live performances. A Cola Collection press release says, beginning Tuesday, the Grateful Dead's summer tour opener from July 2nd, 1989 in Foxborough, Massachusetts is now available to stream for the first time. They said on September 8th, the Coda Collection will release live in Washington, D.C. July 12, 1989, captured days later at RFK Stadium during the same tour amid the backdrop of notable security from the local political figures. On September 29th, the Coda Collection will release live at Giant Stadium, June 17, 1991, one of the most euphoric concerts of the Dead's later era. The show includes Bruce Hornsby guesting on keyboards and features the first Dark Star Jam, a holy grail of the Deadheads, since 1974. The band formed in 1965 and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994. Garcia, the group's iconic lead singer and guitarist, died of a heart attack in 1995 at the age of 53. And finally, lawmakers in Hong Kong have unveiled a new censorship law that aims to ban films, those in the future and those in the past, that are deemed subversive and a threat of state security. Lawmakers introduced the film censorship ordinance on Tuesday. The law bars films if they have subversive themes or glorify dissent. The law is retroactive, meaning that government officials will review past films to determine if they comply with the law. Offenders face as many as 3 years in jail and $1 million fine. Additionally, banned films could no longer be sold on the market or showed in cinemas. The proposal also allows authorities to enter and search film screening locations and investigate screenings. Hong Kong's Legislative Council still must approve the proposal for it to become law, but experts say it's nearly certain to pass. The new statute is the latest step by the Chinese territory to crack down on dissent and discourage protests under Beijing's national security law. Mass demonstrations 2 years ago led to a host of changes in Hong Kong under the security law to discourage opposition. The film industry and moviegoers have expressed alarm at the proposal, fearing that it means popular movies can be barred from public screenings. Federation of Hong Kong Filmmakers spokesperson Tin Kai Man told the Hollywood Kong Fresh Press that the law clarifies guidance and promotes a sense of vigilance in the country. He said it would address a loophole that does not enforce an expiration date for film-related permits. Federation Chairman Tin K Tin told Variety, "We are very worried. Our greatest concern is whether we would be breaking the law." Hong Kong filmmaker Mabel Chuang said, according to Variety, "We have had meetings with officials mainly to ask them what's allowed and what's not, but the government hasn't been able to give any concrete answer." And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, August 26, 2021. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.